What's up, guys and gals? It's Griever here, back once again to bring you guys some more Kengan for 2024. Our first review, our first video, if we don't count a stream, our first video of 2024. And what better way to start it off with Kengan Omega. Kengan Omega, chapter 243, entitled Leech. And you know what? I heard a lot of people... I saw some titles and stuff like that, and I already watched Miss Content's reaction. Definitely go check that out. And people calling this, oh, Tiger Nico's using an Indian burn, and they're making a joke out of it. Fair, but in all honesty, I think this is kind of a cool chapter. I really do. I think 2024 starts us off with a pretty decent chapter. The fight is looking pretty interesting. Tiger Nico doesn't seem to be completely dominating either. He's still sweating and stuff, and he's still taken in by the end of the chapter, as we know. He probably went limp or used, I don't know, indestructible or something like that before, because he even said if I was 1 second later last time, within using indestructible, he would have caught me with that Rakshas's palm. And we still see he still took the Rakshas's palm, because his at the end of the chapter, his guts are still twisted up. He just didn't take very much damage from the attack, but his skin is still twisted and everything. But yeah, I actually so far like the fight. I don't know if this proves that Setsuna's improved. Setsuna in most people's tier list was an A-tier fighter. So the fact that he probably improved, and Tiger Nico is probably an S-tier fighter, maybe a little better. It's not... The gap isn't that wide between these guys. So I'm sort of glad they didn't jump back to Willem and Okoye and all that stuff right now, because I like this. And I do like the idea of this leech attack. Like, a lot of people are saying, oh, really? He's made a devastating Indian burn attack. It's like, yeah, but this is a world with superpower martial arts, like History's Strongest Disciple and shit. Like, so an Indian burn and on steroids is more accurate to what this is, and it's actually kind of a cool usage. It's another Nico-style technique combining the katas. See, that's the cool thing about the Nico style. It's versatility. Like, when we were first introduced to Omega and we had Faye and stuff like that, or Fi, or however you say his name, and even Agito and Oma were there. I don't know this move that he's using from the Nico style. Like, he was using multiple moves they never thought of, that they were never taught, and it's like, wait a minute now, I don't know what this is. So I like that, because there is so much versatility. Why don't we combine this move with that move sort of idea, because redirection does this, flame kata does that, water kata does this, it works. I like it. And the fact that we already had Iron Fingers, if you recall, which combines, it's Iron Fingers. It's from the Adamantium Kata. Why wouldn't we use like a flame version of that and stuff? So I don't mind it. The idea of, using the Flames Kata's speed to basically do a razor's edge, but at a friction level speed. Because, of course, this isn't the Devil Lance. And it isn't, though it's much similar to Razor's Edge, it's not got the grip strength that Rahito does. But it's sort of an imitation of that, but using friction. I think that's kind of inventive. I actually think it's kind of cool. The idea that, okay, if at the moment of contact, you use, your opponent's power, you use the momentum against you with the redirection, and then you end up, using the flame cut of speed to, it would do what that's doing if we can believe, the magical world of redirection and flame katas. That makes sense. And it's obviously very devastating, because it does cause, as Setsuna points out, it's more of a harassment move than anything else. But damage, accumulates over time, as Tiger Nico says, and a lot of opponents go crazy if you apply this enough. And I mean, you imagine having 1,000 carpet burns, all at once. It'd be like, holy shit. And these are a little worse. Like, we see, like, they're actually burning the skin. Like, it is friction, but it's causing, and from someone who knows a little bit about burning, still healing, that's going to leave a nasty scar, isn't it? I find this kind of inventive, kind of cool. I didn't think... did anybody else come up with the idea of combining these to create the Super Indian Burn? And that's what it's called. Once again, don't cancel me for that. That's just what it's been called for many years. I actually don't know why it's called an Indian Burn. I really don't. But yeah, so anyways, I thought it was kind of cool. And the fact that I do like the exchange between the two of them. Like, Tiger Nico keeps saying, like, he goes, when he's talking about the guy saying, oh, well, you know, most people go a little crazy, but for you, you're already nuts. You know, it's like a Michael Keaton thing. You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. And I was like, all right, so Tiger Nico's having fun with this. Setsuna's got to keep his head in the game, sort of idea. He's like, okay, I'm trying to figure out this technique, but I'm being sloppy now. Like, this isn't, you know, this is an S-class fighter. I really got to go in and focus on this. And he ends up using the Gao style against, which is ironic because Tiger Nico states earlier on in the chapter during this fight, says, why are you only sticking to the Koi style? You know, I know those moves. Why don't you use that Nico style that I taught you? And Setsuna brings up a good point. He's like, really? Against you? You think me, my amateur version of the... Which, Setsuna is probably very proficient in the Nico style, but he's not Oma, he's not Tiger Nico, he's not a Nico, right? So, the fact that he just says, yeah, no, I'm not using the Nico style against a master of your level of the Nico style. That'd just be stupid. I'm going to use the Koi style sort of idea, right? Because that's just dumb. Like, just because I know it doesn't mean I can use it against you effectively. But on the flip side, he does something that Tiger Nico doesn't expect and uses the Gao style combination. And he says, Ryuki, sorry about this, but I'm going to steal one of your moves. Combines it into a, what it looks to be to me, a finisher move. And I believe it's called, let me just double check here. Well, I always have the chapters open when I review anyway. It's Rakusha's Soul, which of course is the kick version of Rakusha's Palm, but it's Koi style, X-Gao style, air rendering. Because he does the jump, because Tiger Nico goes for an Iron Breaker, but he jumps out and he outmaneuvered his prediction, and, I'm going to borrow your technique. Rakusha's Soul and slam, air rendering, slam. And as I said, we see the damage here at the last panel, and it does look like it makes contact. However, we never can trust that sort of idea. He could have put his fist up to block it with, Adamantian Kata or something like that. I don't know if there's anything else here because, he read the prediction. So even though he was using Blink and stuff like that, and Tiger Nico's pretty confident that he's like, if you just don't look away, same with Kuroki's idea. If you don't look away, it's easy to, get the idea from, right? Though he does, it seems like Setsuna is taking more damage, obviously, with these Nico-style techniques, but he does catch him a little bit off guard with the Rakusha's Soul the first time, the Koi-style Rakusha's Soul, and Tiger Nico does need to block, and he's like, damn, you know what I mean? So they are seemingly at a, I wouldn't say a stalemate necessarily, but they are seemingly evenly matched right now. Like, we haven't seen Tiger Nico. I assume he's not going all out right now. This, to me, appears that Setsuna, however, is going all out. I'm not sure, but either way, I actually like the fight. I like the choreography. I like the chapter, and I like the dialogue. Tiger Nico's a little, it's funny. It's a little pot kettle, calling each other black here because, he says, like, Setsuna, you're nuts, but he's got these, like, crazy expressions in this chapter, Some of them are just like, wah, and stuff like that. It's just nuts. Like, he really does. He's got some crazy expressions in this chapter, so, a little pot kettle thing going on there with Tiger Nico calling Setsuna crazy, but either way, I like the chapter. For a chapter, the first chapter that I've read of 2024, I gotta give it 2 thumbs up. I got no problem with it. Once again, we didn't jump to the Okoye shit. We know he's getting his absolute shit kicked, and it's likely that is going to interrupt the fight. I don't think anybody dies here. What I do think happens is that maybe Setsuna does potentially here get Tiger Nico on the ropes a little bit, but since Gilbert and Willem are there, they probably drag Okoye's body over and throw it into the wall and be like, you want to go three on one sort of idea, or maybe Setsuna, Willem and Gilbert are like, is that all you got, Tiger Nico? He's like, oh no, you guys keep fighting. We're staying out of this. Like, if he can't handle you, then, I'll kill him myself anyway. So, you guys keep fighting. That's also a potential here. We haven't seen really enough of Willem and Gilbert's personalities necessarily No, Shen would absolutely just sit back and stay out of it. Just be like, oh, I wish I had my buddy Joe. We could be drinking watching this. But I'm not sure exactly about Gilbert's attitude towards this stuff, and especially Willem. Willem seems like the more serious one of the two. He seems to be the more grounded one out of the two of them. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for me though, guys. What did you guys think of Chapter 243 of Kengan Omega? As I said, I give 2 thumbs up. I like the chapter. It's not a perfect chapter, but it was a good chapter. I got no real complaints. But a lot of people thinking that the leech move was kind of lame. I thought it was more on the creative side than lame, but that's just me. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed and hope your start to the new year has been pretty good so far. So that's it from me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always, and we'll see all you wonderful people back here for the next Kengan Omega. Kengan Omega, as I already said, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you back here next time. Sayonara, everybody.